Hierarchy is just a construct, is it not? Hierarchical models are really just constructs created by us. Do you give your free agency, your free human agency, do you give that away to somebody because you've learned that you have to in order to feel safe? Essentially, then giving your own sense of safety away to somebody else who, quite honestly, might not even be safe. I am very fascinated by how much people give into authority simply because they've been taught to. While simultaneously, throughout fucking history, there have been multiple instances where the giving of self to authority has proven to be unhealthy and overall destructive. Yeah, just to preface it, this video very well may be triggering for people. It might also be, evoking, might be provocative as well. It might be a whole load of things. I'm going to explore something that I think is very fascinating that I know that a lot of people have been conditioned to do in society, and that is giving into authority. Because it's fascinating to me, because when you look at the model of hierarchy, in this case specifically in reference to socialization, systems, models, all of that stuff, you see it everywhere throughout society. Just because somebody has been idolized to an absurdly high degree by a collective doesn't mean that they are anything more than human. And I think that a lot of people kind of get out of touch with the reality that they are just human. I mean, yes, people have literally been idolized to the point where they are seen as more than human. And that's both sad and unfortunate because it's just simply not the case. But this again goes back to the whole model of hierarchical thinking, where it's like, all right, we're going to give our free human agency away to authority. Um, and it's absolutely fascinating because I can go even deeper with this. And in videos recently, I wouldn't say in the past couple of days, I'd say like this is like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I've been talking about something that I think not a lot of people take into consideration. I could be wrong, but we kind of go throughout life very unconscious, very subconscious of a lot of things. And one of those things is, I mean, unless I'm wrong, I don't know how I could be proven wrong. People do believe in soul contracts, which are basically like you asked to go through all of the suffering that you've endured in this life for like karmic reasons. Not to judge any of it, just putting it there as an example. But did you ask to be born? Did you? If you believe in soul contracts, you probably do believe that you asked to be born, and that's okay. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. You have every right to believe in whatever you so choose to believe in. But if you didn't ask to be born, which I personally believe, I don't think anybody asked to be born, isn't it then fascinating that we have, I would argue, seemingly unconsciously, subconsciously given into authority that in and of itself is just a construct of hierarchy that we created? Like when you think about it, there's no human on the face of this planet. I'll say that again. There is no human on the face of this planet that is actually any more like it's not actually any more than human. That sounded weird. Let me try this again. All right. So there's human, and then there is being more than human. There we go. That's like the best. There's being human, and then there's like somehow being more than human. A lot of people on this planet, celebrities, even like elected officials, and celebrities, they are seen as like up here. And I believe that this is a result of hierarchy models, uh, hierarchy thinking, um, what we've been taught about giving our free human agency away to people that have been like deemed as I'm going to use the word demigod because I think that that's it's like you're still human but you're part god. Yeah, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? Listen, to blindly buy into anything is to not look into it first, and that's just the reality of it. So um, I look at the fascinating thing of, and I'm not here like complaining about anything in terms of how any like country was founded, was started. I'm not here to say what things should or shouldn't be. Um, I look at, for instance, like any document of human rights, and I just find it so fascinating. Listen, I understand in order. I understand, when I say in order, I mean I understand in the reality of order. Are you going to have societies around the world that are not based in order? There are some that are less structured, and with that, you see different things unfold that could be considered unhealthy. Um, in regards to a organized society. But I am just very fascinated in one human coming to another human with authority and providing a document of rights as if you get to dictate what the fuck I do and do not do with my life. So I am essentially I am essentially confined to the limits of this document. And that's fascinating because I'm going to say something that is very important here. There are people, I don't like to say less intelligent, but there are people that, as a result of defense mechanisms, right? This goes into Freudian psychology with psychoanalytic theory. There are people that will not go into depths of intelligence and potential understandings because they have defense mechanisms that stop them from doing so. So imagine a person who does not go into depth of intelligence because they have a defense mechanism, at least one of them, that stops them from doing so. For instance, we'll use denial. Denial is a defense mechanism. You deny something because it goes against what you believe to be true. All right, so you're not going to further your the expansion of your intelligence. You're not going to go into a construct. You're not going to go into an idea and better understand it. But you are simultaneously going to be authority in somebody's life and hand them a document of rights, which then limits their lives to the confines of that document. Like, let's just say, for instance, I'm genuinely not here to attack or offend anybody. I'm not. But I think that it's important to say something that will better help this entire argument. Let's just say, for instance, that there are less intelligent people that occupy the planet. And simultaneously, it doesn't make them good or bad or right or wrong. It's just that they have lesser intelligence. And there have been things out there to prove that there are such things as lesser intelligent people. Again, I'm trying to do this in a way that like avoids sounding like I'm attacking or offending anybody because that's not my intention. But what I'm here to do is present something that I think is very fascinating. Say, for instance, which I mean, I'm pretty sure it has been proven, like I just said, there are such thing as lesser intelligent people. It doesn't mean that they can't be more intelligent. It just means that as they are lesser developed intelligently. And with that, there are also more intelligent people. Um, and so imagine the person that is lesser intelligent has the document of human rights for the person. that is more intelligent and presents it to them. And the person, they look at it and they're like, no, you are not going to limit my life to the confines of this document. There are 10 rights that I have here, and I have to live inside of those 10 rights. Now, let me make it very clear that I'm not talking about anything that would be considered unhealthy behavior, harming anybody else in any way. I'm just so fascinated how we give because we do this. We absolutely do this. We give our free human agency away to people that create rights. You have, I mean, in some places, not going to name any names just for the matter of trying to keep this safe. I guess in some places you have a right of freedom of expression. And when I say that, what I'm referring to is freedom of speech. I just think it's absolutely fascinating that anybody, any given individual on this planet, it's not even a matter of thinks that they have the right to. It's a matter of any given individual thinks that they have any sense of authority over any like it's so challenging to explore this because so many people see the hierarchy, they buy into the hierarchy even though that is just a construct, it's just a model, and that has conditioned so many people into seeing dynamics of greater than, less than, and with that people give away their free human agency to people and stuff, and it's like yo, we're all just people, we're all the same, like why are you giving your free human agency away to somebody else? Let me make it very clear that it's important to be an emotionally healthy individual. It is, but it's also simultaneously fascinating to see that oftentimes the people that are taking on positions of authority are not even remotely close to emotionally healthy. And that is a fucking problem. And so, with that, do you give your free human agency away to somebody because you've learned a conditioned belief of hierarchy and that you are to um, submit to authority? What even is authority? If somebody of lesser developed intelligence creates something that limits humans and presents it to somebody that is of higher intelligence, uh, that's a fucking problem. Not just a fucking problem, that's an unhealthy dynamic. Before I end off this video, I'm going to say something that will probably also trigger people, but I'm going to say it anyway. And this doesn't offend or attack anybody. Humans know fucking nothing. And when I say that, I mean that anything that we do know is merely a fucking construct or label that we've created for anything and everything that we've seen in this existence. Labels are just labels. They don't tell us anything that we need to know. That is just superficial meaning. Okay? Um, Giving people this idea that they have to operate within the confines of a document, in my honest opinion, is fucking absurd. There's such thing as healthy human behavior. And as long as you can, master that, I love to play with healthy boundaries. I love to play with, really healthy dynamics of self and other and how societies can function. And giving your free human agency, giving your free human agency. That was fascinating. Giving your free human agency away to authority simply because you've been taught that this is what you're supposed to do. Um, I would definitely look into that more. You know, um, it's wild. So if it is the case that there is no authority, that there's no actual authority above you, I don't care if it's a human that you've learned to idolize or a deity that you've taught to believe in, that you've been taught to believe in. If there is no actual authority above you, have you looked at that? It's fascinating to me. And when you see everything as constructs, it just gets more and more fascinating. Like, you know, um, all of these things are just models. They're just constructs of reference. Some things work really fucking well. Other things, I guess, need to be further tested. And that's just how this works. Do you give in to authority without question? Do you give in to models and constructs? Do you give away your free human agency to people that are just people? They're no, they're not more than human. They're just people. You know, just some questions to explore.